Tarkov community podcast. I'm Ironfists. Welcome everybody. If you're new to the channel, I am one of the UK emissaries. I stream on Twitch Monday to Friday, 6 till midnight. I'm joined by a star-studded cast today. To my right, that's my right definitely, is Sigma. Join us. How's it going, Sigma?
Hey, how's it going? Happy to be here.
Glad to have you. Up in my top left, we've got DanExert. How's it going, Dan?
How's it going, mate? Good to be here. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week.
And in top right, I've got my doppelganger, local maple syrup and hockey expert, Geeks, over in the top right. How's it going, Geeks?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good.
Excellent. And needs no introduction. We have CEO of BattleState Games, lead developer of Escape From Tarkov, the final boss of Tarkov, Nikita. How's it going, Nikita?
I hope I will never be the final boss of the game. I don't want the idea to be killed in my game, you know. And actually, we have a. I have an idea to add myself and part of my team as NPC characters in the future single player game. And the main thing is that you will be have some kind of interaction with them, and they will constantly say something about, we created games long time ago, and actually we modeled the situations that actually occurred, and they will be too frustrated about it and everything, because some of the players think that we are predicting something, you know, and I hope it will never be in our world, in the real world. So, yeah.
I think that gets brought up in my chat once a week. Is Nikita going to become a boss one day? Is he going to model himself as the boss one day?
No, I don't want to make myself a boss, because they will kill me and make all the stories about me.
What if we're not able to kill you though? What if you're an NPC or one of the main traders, or Fence takes his hood down? He's actually Nikita.
I didn't thought about it, because it could be seen like I have some kind of issue with my personality. I created a game and placed myself as a trader, oh my god, he's so egoistic and everything. I don't know, I don't want to do it.
That's a fair point. I think it's what the people want, but that's a fair point. We keep your ego in check, I guess. For those of you who haven't already, Nikita's Instagram is a must follow as well. Nick Jeanburn on all socials, Instagram, and more recently on Twitter. So welcome to Tarkov Twitter. Welcome to the community. How's that been for you?
Twitter actually was surprisingly good, because the community over there, I think my community, they are too kind, and it was so unexpected, because literally for the years I knew that Twitter is a place where pretty hard to control your thoughts, and you just spill everything and all of this, hate speeches and everything. But surprisingly, everybody really nice over there, at least on my Twitter. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm constantly thinking about what to show, what to write, and usually it's a bad idea, because I think Twitter is for those occasions that you just something is just brightens up in your mind, and you just need to type it in, say something, say some thoughts, post some pictures, and it must be an instant thing. So Twitter for myself is a good tool to represent my thoughts and everything. So it's totally random stuff going over there.
We have loved having you on Twitter, though. I can speak for the entire community. Everybody says that they're so happy you're on Twitter.
Okay, thanks.
What pushed you over the edge to get a Twitter, though? It's been a long time.
Yeah, I thought about it for a long time, because I have an Instagram, and it's usually pictures over there, and I want to have a pretty high quality on Instagram. So I usually try to make all of the photos by myself with all of this post production and everything. So there is some time. I need some time to do such kind of posts, and it's not suitable for myself, especially in terms of when I just need to tweet something, to say something short. So the Twitter is a perfect thing to say it aloud and say it short, and I had a goal for myself, like for this year when the New Year's actually happened. I was thinking about like I need finally to start the Twitter from the start of this year, and that's it. I just started it, and I don't know. There was nobody or nothing about it. It was like it was just my decision, and it was purely based on like it's time, and that's it.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely the right decision. Like to have that direct connection that people actually feel. You know, like you said, whatever's on your mind, you say it, and people respond. Whether it's whether it's praise or whether it's whatever's on their mind, they feel like they've got that direct connection to you on Twitter as well.
Unfortunately, I cannot say everything about what I'm thinking about, because like for the personal reasons, I don't know, like because I have the personal life too, and I know that most of you are interested, like if you're fans, like what's the personal life, what do I do actually, like just for the living and everything, and this time like this part of life is still like concealed. I don't know, maybe someday it will be more open and everything, but right now it's just like the final oasis of my life when I wanted to keep everything private, because I'm not such kind of public person, and I do not want to be this kind of person actually. And usually I'm trying to limit the connections that bring me to some, more publicity and everything. And I really love the podcasts, the community podcast, our podcast, the DFcasts and everything, because they just like limited for the specific audience. And I do not want to go into mainstream and everything, because like I just don't want to.
Just keep lurking on the streams.
Yeah, yeah. Like I like to keep it more like convenient, more personal, and not to have like all of this like everybody. And I don't have the idea of my life to get all of the audience, like to all of the players, and to make myself and my project to be playable by everybody in the world. So it's always better to have some like really good like quality audience, smaller one than the bigger like everything around you. It's a pressure actually, and the pressure is always bad for the decisions and for the progression in general. So it's a pretty like hot topic, and it's not that simple to be I don't know, like me.
Well, that's one of the things, like we're adapting to Tarkov, but I think you have spoken quite a lot about how Tarkov has become bigger than you ever planned initially 5 years ago, and you're adapting to that, and learning over time how to deal with the masses in that regard, whether it's catering for casuals, catering for hardcore, or just people who don't know Tarkov, engaging with that community, I feel is really important, and I think you've done that well so far.
It's a good experience, and actually I always wanted that experience, but I didn't predict that it will be so fast, with such a big haste, with like everything like too I don't know, impactful, everything that is going on right now, and like every single major milestone of the game. But it's okay. It's okay, actually.
Yeah. Just a reminder for those in chat, ! translation in chat. We're talking about that worldwide connection. There is live translation currently in Italian, Polish, and German languages for your needs there as well. Speaking of the current state of the game, then Nikita, you have always spoken, because we did want to get into the update with. It's been a while since we caught up. We've had 12.12. We've had the New Year's events. Lots of new features added that came with 12.12. Not just the new map of Lighthouse, but the addition of VoIP, the ballistics reworks, malfunction changes. There's so much in regards to that. But the big one, in regards to, you were speaking about lengthening the early game, and we've had some economy changes that have brought that in, some quest reworks and things like that. How's your feeling right now in terms of where we're at, 60 days or so into the patch? in terms of lengthening that early gameplay, and I'm sure the guys will jump in and with their 2 cents as well.
Personally, I think that it's really, really better than before, and all of this prolongation is what we needed and what I needed, and it gives us a lot of ideas how to enforce it. All of these ideas to prolong the gameplay. And yeah, in generally speaking, it's a good thing, and I thought about it a lot because the game was developed for a long time already, and it was always something like we implement new features, implement more things to do, and sometimes we shift into some, I don't know how to say it, like simplified gameplay overall. Sometimes we break the game, not in terms of like technical term, but in terms of balancing and metas and everything. And sometimes we forgot about it and continue to go on further. But the 12.12 refreshed everything, and we took everything that we did and put it into the exact condition that we needed long time ago, and it is good, especially for the time being. And I think all of these upcoming features will make this idea more stronger, make this principle more stronger, and you will eventually you will have an ability to play the game with the same level of interest in any period of the VoIP, early VoIP, mid VoIP, or the late game. It still will be interesting for you, and this is the idea, to make such kind of game. So eventually we're trying to move closer to the concept of the game without VoIPs, and the main idea, the main difficulty is to keep it interesting all the way, and it's hard. But 12.12 gives us this air to breathe, and right now we understand what to do more in terms of.
When do you see no wipes coming down the pipe? Then that's something huge that people are scared about, people aren't scared about. You've talked about, sorry, how there's going to be two different PMCs, one that wipes and one that doesn't. Are you guys still thinking about doing that, or are you just staying with the one PMC now?
This thing is still on the go.
I thought so.
Because this is actually became not only about the concept, the VoIP game concept. It's also about some of you, the big part of players actually like the VoIP concept, and they waiting for VoIPs just for the this feeling starting all over again with everybody at the same time. And this is a good thing, because right after that we decided to make this some kind of game mode. When you have your character, it will be wipeable account, wipeable profile or something, and everybody will still have this kind of seasonal based sessions, like long sessions, and it is good. And of course there will be your main account without any wipes, and still I don't understand exactly how it will be, because literally it's not the main thing right now in development, but it's planned, and how it will be exactly we will think, because I don't feel that it will be a pretty difficult task to design this kind of feature, because it's pretty understandable what to do. All we need is just to give players this interest to play in any kind of gameplay with wipes or without wipes.
That's it. That's one of the things with wipes. It does bring people back and it keeps people engaged, but I think people are looking forward to that moment where, is this something that's going to be on 0.1 release, or when we hit 0.1 we still going to have wipes, and then the no wipe system is something that's going to be later on down the line after 0.1, even after full release?
The full release version will be a big sign of no wipes further, and most likely with that exact moment there will be this wipeable account introduction or something. So when this particular moment, we will add this new profile for you to play, like on the seasons and everything. But the main account will be without wipes at all.
That's something that a lot of people are trying to envision now, because now that we have Lighthouse, people are looking forward to the next map being, I'm guessing, is planned as Streets, and that's bringing us that much closer to 0.1 release. And people are trying to picture how that's going to look. Whether open world, is it going to be still raid-based timers? Is there going to be dead spaces between the maps? Trying to picture all these things while fitting it in with the current gameplay of Tarkov. It almost feels it's going to be a different game altogether, almost.
Talking about the free roam mode, it's still like the big planned another thing. It will not replace the current system. So the current system, the current exfil, infill exfil type of the game, it will still be in the game forever. But we also plan to make this huge open world thing, and right now it's just a question of technical abilities and everything. Is right now we're really actively working on the Streets of Tarkov, and the thing is we encountering a lot of technical things that we need to solve to get the game running really good with really big amounts of players and scavs on Streets of Tarkov. And if that will be totally possible, then we will be able to make all of this location combined all together without any loading and stuff. It will be one huge location to roam, and eventually it will be in the game, but we will see how it will go.
Has it been just on a technical standpoint, with Lighthouse having all the rogues, the number of rogues and the amount of them in one area, is that does that provide extra load to the server on that map itself, or is that a hurdle that you've had to try and overcome?
Yeah, the main issue for the Lighthouse is a big amount of AI. We kind of lowered it, I think, in a couple of 3 or 4, something weeks after the release. We lowered the amount, and we added 15% of performance to this location just with this cut off all of the AI that was too big amount of this AI on this location. And still it's a problem right now, because right now we are also working on a Lighthouse optimization, and we just see that AI, especially with some advanced things as rogues, they utilize more CPU, not only on the server but also on your client. And this is the reason that we need to optimize them and optimize CPU performance in general, because we bottlenecked on CPU for a long time already, and it's not only about our incompetence, how somebody think, but it's mostly based on the Unity engine and stuff. So we need to right now, for example, we need to move on further for the Unity 2020.
Right.
Yeah, 2020. So the next version of Unity, because again, it will give us more things. Especially, we will be able to cooperate with the Unity devs more efficiently, because they are actually moving forward with Unity 2021 already, and it's pretty hard for them to communicate with us, because we are still based on the older version of Unity. And I hope it will give us more points to connect with the Unity devs and make the game more run faster and everything. But we for the most part, so we know what to do, and right now it's only a matter of time for us to finish what we planned. Especially that we started this year not so efficient as we thought, because at first the half of the months it was the holidays for us, the second half of the January, like a third of the company was ill with COVID, and right now I think it's a quarter of the company still. They are how to say it? They're ill. Yeah.
They're sick. Yeah.
Because we had to.
You
sorry, go on.
I want to point out that I've been with this game now for 4 years, and I feel like things are happening quicker in the sense of you're identifying problems a lot quicker and you're solving things a lot quicker. Like back, years ago, it used to be just trying to find exactly what the problem would take quite a while for you guys. And now I feel like you're moving fast. Have you noticed that too?
Yes, for the most cases, exactly. We started to react more quickly on the problem solving and everything, but still there is some issues that we are still struggling to understand. For example, the Steam audio glitches and everything that started to occur with Unity 2019. They just started to occur on that version, and we can't understand how exactly we should fix it, because we just, for example, like a couple days ago or yesterday, I don't remember, we updated, we made a patch and updated the Steam audio for the new version, and people started to crash. And we rolled back, because literally the Steam audio is the module that we don't have any, influence on it. We don't have any, we cannot do anything with it. And that's why it's a struggle, because we need to understand what exactly could be wrong in third-party plugin that we don't have access to. And yeah, but generally we increased this rate of the problem solving, because we actually increased the numbers in terms of specialists and everything, because we have we boosted up the management, we increased in the numbers of engineers and everything, and people start to work more efficiently in terms of team cooperation. And it's not just a couple of words, actually, because it's a huge the big pile of different kind of principles and actions that we continue to do for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's a long run thing, because it's usually you can do something some critical fixes in the management, for example, and you'll be able to see some results in the next day. But sometimes when the company grows too fast and we have a lot of new specialists ongoing, sometimes it's just not obvious for us to, if we make something related to the production in terms of management and everything, we don't see a positive feedback anywhere on the next day. But we need to continue push it, and someday, week, 2 or months, some processes will become more more better, more efficient, and we'll finally receive this kind of low percentage of boost in terms of problem solving and patch development and everything. So yeah, it's not an easy thing. It's not just hire more managers or hire more programmers or
just press the fix game button.
Yeah, and it's a hard thing, especially when your big train is running. You need to maintain it's life support and everything, and you need to repair and fix it on the go. It's not a simple thing.
We find that you tweeted about it, how you were asking the community, you had a poll up asking what their main issues were, and definitely audio is the number one thing that you said, right? A lot of people just said audio, and we play this game for a living, all of us, and we know that the verticality is rough, and then you hear keys off in the distance sometimes, or smoke grenades. You guys are constantly working on it. How big of a team do you have working on just audio? How is there someone that you guys have assigned right now to just working on audio?
Yes, we have several. Usually it's something like this. We have some
just so that
Attack.
people know you guys are. I just want you to be like, yeah, there's a team working on it, obviously, just so people know, because
Yeah,
it's
of
not
course.
as easy as pressing fix. That's all.
It's
You know.
it's the first thing that Paul showed us, and of course we are working on it, and that's why we updated this team audio that I said before, because literally we read it in their patch note that they solved all of this clicking popping sounds in other games. So we decided, okay, all right, let's fix for us, because we literally didn't understand. This was not our bug. This whole phantom sounds and everything. It's just the Steam audio bug. So we updated the Steam audio, and the crashes started to occur with the wireless headsets. So literally, we couldn't predict that, and we rolled back to just. And actually, we rolled it back, and in that moment, we got all of the information that problem with clicking, popping, random sounds are still in the game. So that fix of Steam Audio didn't fix anything. So yeah, and we have attached like engineers. They working only on that, on audio issues. They try to understand what to fix, what to do. They like constantly do something to fix it. And the thing is that some of the audio bugs, they're not so obvious to roll to
Replicate.
to replicate, yeah. And that's why we have like a huge army of testers, and they tested. And you, of course, you are testers too. You know that.
Get your bug reports in then if you've got Steam audio
Yes.
enabled and you hear any dodgy phantom sounds. And not talking about your teammates in Discord, in game as well.
If you think that it's too much, like you have slowly going into the madness with the sounds, just disable the binaural sound. How to say it in English?
Binaural. Yeah.
Binaural sound, and it will be better.
That was one of the things for me personally, because although I like to bug bust and do as many bug reports as possible, with when it came to Steam Audio, I just had to revert it because to keep the game playable for myself. So it's down to the user themselves. If you're happy to be the guinea pig and do some testing, enable it and let the guys know what you hear, what's good, what's bad, and that's the important thing. You got to remember, at the end of the day, we're still all beta testers.
Mm-hmm.
So audio is probably one of the biggest things a lot of us hear about that is an issue. The other big issue that I always hear a lot about is global limits, and I do want to touch on that because of how you guys have changed up the flea market. And I think everyone can, 90% of the community is going to agree that the flea market changes are awesome. Everyone loves it. We're enjoying it a lot. But now with global limits still being where they are, and people not being able to get, say, thick item cases or their key cards or whatnot, or just ammo, do you think the global limits are going to stay with this kind of system? Are you guys talking about getting rid of them? What's the state? What's your mind with global limits right now?
The global limits, they were created not to punish you. They were created to represent the kind of realistic behavior of the traders. So they have some limited stocks, and they cannot be any bigger than they decided to. So they specifically create this shortage, and in future we plan that in the future this shortage will be regulated dynamically, across every aspect of the trading system, flea market, loot propagation systems, and everything. So it creates some unavoidable shortage, because it needs to be done, because it's just to represent the idea that some of the traders just don't have any available super rare stuff, and it's just 50 pieces of these cases, and that's it. You need to live with it. You need to understand that this is how it goes. You need to understand that, okay, I will not try to buy them because literally I'm not too fast and everything, or they have bots and they too fast and everything. So I'll be seek for other methods or other things to get this item. And in the future, these quantities will be more dynamic. And even the idea that you have to camp the traders for some specific times, like the low general online of the game, and try to so like you plan to be in the trading system and wait for the restock, because there will be a time with a less amount of players overall, and you will be able to have this kind of increased chances to get this item. It's still in the concept of the game. It moves you, it drives you to make decisions of the rates, to camp these traders and try to buy this item. So it's pretty hard, of course, for those who just want to play and buy it, and they don't have much time. But we don't have to simplify the game world to this. We don't want to have this the idea that if I want to play only 2 hours per day in the evening, I must get everything that I want. I'm sorry, you will not get everything that you want.
You can't have the best of both worlds.
Another routes.
Yeah.
You need to find another methods. You need to find another places. I don't know to obtain this item. So this was like the general idea of the global limits, because some of the items, they have global limits because these limits must be in the game. Because literally, for example, I don't want to have some specific items, some specific item in the game. So I just want to remove this item from the game exactly. But I don't want to, because it's pretty cool, it's pretty rare, and let it be super rare. Let it be like really, really rare. But at least you will be able to see that somebody still trades with this item, and you will be looking on it like for some kind of dream or something. So like every aspect of the game, even that annoying thing, they still produce some kind of emotions, and it could be with the plus sign or a minus sign, but still it's emotions, and that's what drives the community, that's what drives the gameplay and everything. So this is it. And for the most items, actually, we're changing the global limits, because of course there is a flaws in this wonderful, interesting idea, and sometimes it's just too low amount of some specific needed items that we need to constantly up. But again, in the future, we plan to automate this quantity changes via the AI and everything, so it will be more interesting. But again, there is a general idea to make you feel that the economy is dynamic and we don't do anything about it. So all these shortages, all of this like fuel shortage, for example, or some medical items shortage, we want to do it like natural and without any like press of the button. We just want to economy to have its own flaws. We want to have some kind of crisis in the economy too, so it will shake the players and create more emotions, create more behaviors, and change the way people play the game.
That's the thing. It's all about adapting, because we see so many people now, like they add in routes around the raid where ammo usually drops because they're not able to get it from the traders, so I have to go and find it for myself in raid. And it's all about changing how people think in that way.
Exactly. Yep. Like we have like 1.5 millions of BP rounds, for example, every restock, and we have 120, for example, rounds per hands, like personal limit, and like it's just depleted because everybody who was waiting for it bought it, and that's it. Why this is why it's a problem actually? Because you could go and use any other item, because this is the limited stock.
Yeah,
they don't have it. Like imagine real life. It always will be limited.
Yeah, I think that's the overall message, is that global limits are here and they're definitely here to stay. So adapt, overcome, and get used to it, I guess, or get good. One of
Yes, exactly.
the other current state of the play features. I know Sigma, you wanted to talk about it. Was Scav rep? If you want to ask away.
Yeah, I think it's a big question from the community in general is these people at Walker that went super negative, how in the heck are they ever going to make it back? Because I've watched a few streams, not just Walkers, but like Batty has -7 Scav rep, I think. How are they supposed to make it up if they want to? Oh God, here we go, Nikita. But generally, like I'm serious. They're like, oh, you know, especially some new players. They're new to the game. They're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that, you know, negative Scav rep was a thing. And they spawned it and they're getting hunted down by all the other Scavs. It's like, oh shit, how are they supposed to fix this? So do you guys have any plans at all, or is this another get good? I mean, I'm good either way because my Scav rep is fine, but I'm just asking.
I think it's a perfect representation of simulating a real life experience. Sometimes you just suck, and this is it. You cannot do anything about it. This is your, I don't know. You was born like this, and this is it. You cannot do anything about it. This is what you need to, you know, struggle all of your life, like before till the end of the life, of course. And like, yes, it's like some kind of for example, if you played Morrowind a long time ago, you can receive the illness, like Corpse of Sirium or something, like a living dead thing, and you will be able to cure it in the end of the game. So all of the time you can roam with this deadly disease. And why shouldn't like you of course you're able to fix it, as I'm not like mistaken, later in the end of the game, but still it's a pretty good thing to like simulate the real world. And like, I don't know, it's not some kind of game breaking thing, but still it's a pretty unique characteristic of your player, I think. And maybe it's not a bad thing overall in terms of like the game world and everything. And because of course I saw that some of the players have -60 reputation.
Terrible people.
Really hard to make all of this like quest lines, 60 quests to replenish all of the lost. I know, like, and we don't know to fix it like with some kind of script and everything. Why the hell you killed so many Santas? Why?
Was it worth it? What did he give you? A bunch of nuts and bolts and a carton of milk.
And now you need to suffer.
Yeah.
You need to suffer till the end of your life.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, yeah, go, Dan.
Sorry, I was honestly just gonna say, like, I think it's really important that there's some sort of persistence, and you know, in real life, if you're an asshole, generally speaking, you know, that's it. Like, people know that you're an asshole, unless you do like a complete turnaround, which is super rare.
Prisons in EFT.
Lock them up.
Exactly. So I think it's cool that there's like lasting consequences, like with our generation and stuff like that, with like especially younger people. Like, don't take this the wrong way, guys, but you know, like being able to just go, haha, JK, you know, just kidding. And then it
was just a prank, bro.
Just get away with just a prank, bro. I just killed Santa 50 times for a prank. Like, you know, I think it's really important that there is lasting consequences to your actions if you're a good guy or a bad guy, or you know.
I'm still carrying the idea that in the future you will be able to cut a disease, like literal disease, and this disease could be fatal for you. For example, you will be able to get the radiation poisoning, like critical radiation poisoning, and you will receive all of this bad effects and everything on you, and it will not be curable at all. So it will be a death sentence to you, because it's real.
Would that be
what
like?
Should you do? What should you do?
Yeah.
You'll be able to reset your account without any,
When you're cured,
Oh,
that's
it's
it.
like the
There's
ultimate punishment.
yeah, like you were too light-minded. I know how to say it. Like you were too easy on the
Greedy.
game.
Oh.
Yeah, too greedy, too easy on the game aspects, and you received all of this leukemia stuff, and this is it. Like you need to reset your game if you want to continue. I'm still thinking about this idea as a good idea for the game concept that we have. I don't know, will it be in the game or not? But it will be. You can just imagine that we have the general game concept that you'll go on the raid and you will lose everything that you found or brought into this raid except a secure container. But also, you will have some really special places. There will be not like a mandatory to visit them, but still, if you will risk enough to be in such kind of places, high radiation areas, you will get some unique stuff from there, of course, but you can be poisoned
permanently
with radiation, and it will be a death sentence for you. I think it's a pretty cool thing, actually.
Like a Tarkov permadeath.
Permadeath. Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually lost the game. You can actually not escape. And I think this is pretty interesting concept.
Interesting concept. It might need some work, but maybe if the highly radiated areas, not just the like high value loot areas, what if it's like near extracts or certain areas? I don't know.
We'll see, actually, because literally like all of the radiation, poisoning, and like hazardous areas will have realistic approach, and if he was there not for so long, you will be able to recover from the bad effects of it, and like it still will be some kind of
Can you buy a hazmat suit from Ragman to reduce your chances? But it's like 5 million rubles or something.
At least it will be some military grade gas masks and everything, but still it's too early to discuss. We actually have this design already ongoing, the game design, and we want to have this design completed just in case quickly started to produce this feature into the game without any notice, of course. And the idea to have these unique places with the high risk, really high risk to lose your character, actually, it's pretty good, and we'll see how it will go.
Like D2 extract can be irradiated, and if you spend too long in D2, maybe you'll not feel very well.
Shock.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh
shock.
dear.
Every bush radiated, confirmed.
Yeah.
We're bringing up Santa here, and I have a question for Nikita about Santa. Was that like everyone is in this conspiracy theory about Santa being like you guys prototyping the next trader, right? Like you guys practicing, like prototyping how the trader's going to work, and you guys are testing it out with Santa?
No.
Okay.
No, it was just an NPC with some additional features. The trader will be. It won't be like this, of course. The trader will be.
Okay.
You'll see. We didn't test it.
So
the trader mechanics on it.
We're not going to be. Yeah, because a lot of people were speculating that we're going to be dropping items in raid, and that's how you do your barters in raid with the in raid trader. Yeah. So you drop him a carton of milk, he gives you back a repire, for example.
I don't know, maybe this feature will be used more in friendly cooperations with Scav II and everything.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to be cool.
The trader will be a character. He will have the animations. He will have the voice. You will need to speak with him, dialogue system and everything. So it will be more like action RPG kind of character.
Roaming around the map as well, or sitting in a certain area?
In certain area, of course.
So this is something brand new you guys are going to add for the first time ever. Then this dialogue mechanic and everything. This is
it's a brand new thing, and
Okay.
it will be used in storyline quests and everything.
Is he killable? Can you kill him?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
okay.
if you kill him and get negative karma, don't come crying. All right.
Yeah. Take your negative karma. And...
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like with this again, to circle back to Santa and Rep, it does feel like a prerequisite to like fence karma and the Scav Rep at the minute for killing Santa. Like there was no path to retribution in terms of like once you're down, you're all the way down, and there's no way of coming back unless you reset your account. Is that how when it comes to the factions and with the other trader karma, if you can, and if you do kill a trader and you lose that rep, is there a chance of retribution, or once you've picked your path, that's it for this character, for this wipe, or for this cycle of your character?
You can say that in the storyline quests, there will be points of no return. So if you will decide to take sides, some of the traders will be blocked forever, like in terms of your lifetime in the game. So yeah, like we will have such kind of decisions that will change something. They will block different things in the game, because I have a really high hopes, and I will try to make the storyline quest like as much interesting as possible, and they will cover every aspect of the game. So you will build your character with these quests, and I hope it will be interesting, really interesting. But I must warn you that the storyline quests will be available only in the release version.
0.1
We
release.
will not test them before. They will be available. All of the storyline quests will be available only with the release of the game, as well as many other good features that we will keep specifically for the release version. You know, just to make this release version like not only a good patch. You know, it will be a release with all the new stuff that we will keep in secret.
Are we to expect then, talking about full release and the cycle of this patch currently, obviously we're at very early days, are we to expect Lighthouse expansions in this patch, or is that something in following patches and wipes?
No, Lighthouse will be as soon as possible. It will not be something like expansion. It will add bosses and other things, but it will not give you like more area to explore. Most likely it will give you the FPS, because we need to optimize it more. Yeah.
Okay.
But like right now, 85, I think 90% of art department working on the Streets of Tarkov, like full scale. And like we only wanted to make this Lighthouse expansion, so-called, and we will fully be focused on the Streets of Tarkov, and that's it. There will be no other expansions, most likely. I don't know. Maybe we will decide to expand some older location, but we don't want to actually, because we need to spend all of the available time to give you the first iteration of Streets of Tarkov, the first iteration, and we decided to cut it in more smaller iterations to finally give you new location, and we will expand it nearly every month to add more streets, more buildings and everything, and that will be like the initial iteration and many additional expansions of Streets of Tarkov. Because Streets of Tarkov is huge, and it's not only huge in terms of art design and like level design and environment things. It's also huge in terms of AI, like points of interest, like how exactly we will make other locations playable, because the Streets of Tarkov is so big and it will consist everything. of like you like why should you play on another location?
Yeah.
After the Streets of Tarkov release, that's why we need to think about it different. So to keep interest in other locations, and we actually know how to do it, so don't worry. I'm just telling that what's the main things right now about the designing the Streets of Tarkov and all the functionality and features around this location. Yeah.
One thing that Lighthouse has opened people's eyes to is the rogues, and obviously with the Streets location, we're expecting the rogue faction to be the GRU, the bear rogue faction, and currently you see how punishing it is for bears on Lighthouse. Is it? It's
a speculation, actually. I don't know why you decided that GRU will be in the game. I just said about it that, we kind of plan the GRU, and they will be roaming on the locations and trying to kill you, the bad guys. But it's not planned like something planned, because I just said something loud that I wanted to keep in secret, actually. And let's see how it will be, actually.
If Twitter's taught me anything,
the Streets of Tarkov will be full, I hope, will be full of AI, different kind of AI. Scavs, Scav bosses, maybe something else, dogs, cats, I don't know. And
cats confirmed in Tarkov?
We will see. We will see how it will go, because how it will be playable. Because I saw the comment in the chat that something about like, are you concerned about the performance on the Streets of Tarkov? Yes, I'm concerned about the performance of the Streets of Tarkov, because it's not something like, oh, you can see that the Lighthouse, like the poor FPS, like I'm only getting 60 FPS on my blah 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 blah, and the Streets of Tarkov is making on a different kind of basis of the future optimization. We are building the new system to optimize the locations. So if we will be able to run stable 60 FPS on the average specification of PC on the Streets of Tarkov, with all of the features, with all of this like buildings and everything, and 40 PMC players and more Scavs, so it means that all of the other locations will be much better in terms of performance
optimization. Is that again linked to Unity 2020 as well, or is that just a separate deal in terms of optimization?
Yeah, it's a separate thing, because Unity 2020 it's just a new version, and I don't know, it of course it will give us some kind of performance boost, I hope, because literally we just talked about it, that we plan to run the ETS with the Unity 2020 just to see like just see issues and performance boost and everything, but still it's nothing like some kind of magic thing will occur and everybody will happy and FPS will be like you will be able to play the EFT on your calculator. I don't know.
Steam Deck, a lot of people have been asking about Linux and Steam Deck and things like that, because the port seems fairly I wouldn't say straightforward, but it's not done on your end in regards to that.
It's too extreme. Steam Deck to run EFT on Steam Deck, I will need to sell my soul to the devil to make it playable on Steam Deck. But again, we have of course we have architectural flaws in the project, because we didn't even imagine how it will be, you know. And if we started to make this game from scratch, of course we did it differently, and the game will be better in terms of performance and everything actually. But it's impossible. We cannot roll back time and everything. We do what we do. We work in what we are, what we have, and with and I don't know. Like I don't see a problem with it. All we need is time and the professionals and your support, of course.
Yeah, a lot of people have been mentioning Steam Deck, but I'd love to see them try and clear a malfunction and reload on a controller with 4 buttons, or I'm not sure how that would work out. Circling back, yeah, sorry, go on.
Just remember that we are like we want to have a console version too.
Yeah.
And someday. And we actually had a prototype with the controller and everything, and I must say that it's pretty real. So assign all of the controls on the controller. It's a real thing.
Would it like involve like different button combinations to do things? Like it feels like there's too many things, too detailed.
You will need to be a grandmaster of the controller.
You're doing that.
Press simultaneously 6 buttons and use like the gyroscope and everything.
You're doing Scorpion's finisher just to reload your M4. It sounds like.
You need to shake. You need to shake the controller.
Do that?
Yeah,
didn't you play it on it for 2 days on a controller or something?
I played
like
it
that?
for like 3 or 4 days, and I have to tell you, it was a long 3 or 4 days. I gotta tell you, because there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Not auto aim, but there's no
aim assist.
You know when aim assist? Yeah, there's no aim assist. So like you have to be precise in Tarkov, and using a controller was like, I got punished. But when you kill someone, you're just like, I killed you with this controller, buds. Like I hope you know that. I hope you know I killed you with a controller.
This is the next level of suffering. Actually, you don't need to play really hard games like Dark Souls and everything. You can play EFT with a controller, with the blindfolded, and man, you just like is our lives are not hardcore enough. I don't understand.
Well, the only thing I used a mouse and keyboard for was when I got into inventory, because that would have been a nightmare, right? But everything else, other than like every time I was in raid, I was using a controller with the paddles. I had to use an elite, so with the paddles. One thing I the community's been asking about, especially mine, and I've been really curious about, and I'm sorry to jump topics here, but you guys have changed it so that. Well, first of all, you took away money cases, the fridge, and the grenade cases from Marked Room, right? Mm-hmm. So those can't spawn. But you recently just took it away so that like docs cases and wallets and whatnot can't spawn anything inside of them now in Tarkov. Is that something that you guys want to add back? Is there a reason you took it away?
Yes, we took it away because the algorithms of items spawning inside the containers was kind of broken, because it actually broke the servers, because some of the items were unsupported for this particular container, and the server started to hang and everything. So we just decided to remove it, not to fix it. We just remove this until further things. So most likely we will reintroduce this thing later, but right now we just remove it for the sake of stability.
Okay. It's not high priority to be fixed though currently. Okay, good to know. Circling back, I know it's nice to keep things a secret and things like that, but circling back to when you do open up the Lighthouse bridge and we have the bosses and snipers, it's going to be a sniper boss, and there's meant to be multiple of them. Is multiple spawning in one raid, or do they rotate through a number of them? How's it going to look like? You
will see.
Good to know. We'll wait and see. I had to ask. People keep asking me, so I thought I'd ask you.
I don't know to spoil everything. You will see. The sniper boss will guard the lighthouse, because this will be the place. And all other bosses will be roaming. You will see.
Look forward to that either way.
Are you guys feeling confident about this, quote unquote expansion? Like, is it in the near future? I know you don't like to give a time frame, and I totally understand with being in this game for so long that people, if you go past that time frame, people crucify you. But are you guys feeling confident it is in the near future here, very close, or is it like a little ways away still?
It's not really close, but it's in the near future, because we are working on it right now, and because we still have approximately several weeks for the technical stuff, for the fixes. We need to fix audio finally and everything, but we also started to build the feature list and everything, and we will most likely release the features when it will be ready. So we will not accumulate it. We will just release them, and we just want to make a lot of like more patches, smaller patches with some kind of new content and features till the big one arrives. The big one is the first iteration of Escape From Tarkov. And this is the idea. And we know that how fast time travels, like really fast, and we will just hope to make as much as possible for you guys. But you must understand that we are kinda not on the finish line, but I don't know.
The home
Actually,
stretch.
It's not on the finish line because we have like several big features left, and big location. The main locations is left only. So all of the core gameplay is settled. All of the mechanics kind of settled. We have the game cycle. We just need to have the end game, and we just need to polish the game, add more optimization, more good stuff like anti-cheat protection and everything, and prepare the game for the release. And this is it. Because we kind of it's been a long time actually, and all we want right now is to finally make it real and combined all together.
You know, like this patch we saw inertia, but it's something that you've been talking about since, you know, even pre-alpha. Is there a feature that you think is going to catch people off guard that's coming soon? Like, is there a core feature that's yet to be added, something that you think, you know, people are going to be either struggling to adapt to, or it's going to catch them off guard or change how they play? Because we've seen with inertia and even malfunctions to a certain degree, it's something that people thought was like, they almost took it as like a nerf to a playstyle, but it's something that you've been planning in terms of the wider, you know, for
Yes.
those of us who've been playing for 4 or 5 years. It's something that we've been preparing for and planning for.
Yes.
Is there something that's going to catch again newer players or even
there is
older off guard?
something, yes. There is several things. I will not tell you about them, but yes, there are several things left to change the gameplay, and I think they will change the gameplay for sure.
I have a question about VoIP. First off, I love it. I thought that I was going to keep it off and not use it, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it's amazing. But there is a question about reporting people. There's been a few instances where some absolutely horrible things have been said to female streamers, and they're in the middle of a fight, you know, and they're fighting. Like, you'd rather kill this person than stop and say, let me report you really quick. Is there going to be an option in the future to be able to report maybe after the raid is over, or open up that time frame a little bit longer that we have to report people?
Time frame, like we actually want to increase this time frame to report. Yeah, we have this in plans.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
There's been a lot of I know we've covered it already multiple times when we spoke previously in terms of quality of life features. Are we going to be seeing the ability to lock containers in your stash soon?
Yes.
TM? Or how soon?
The design is actually ready, so it's definitely will be this year for sure.
Okay.
But I don't know, like it will be. It definitely there will be several types of locks.
Yeah.
First will be pin. You'll be able to pin your item, and it will not be used in sorting things. And the second is lock. Lock, you will be able to move it, but you will not be able to delete it, sell it, utilize it somehow in the quests and everything. So it will be just a locked item that will stay intact no matter what you do with it.
Okay, that's good to know. I know we've spoken about it before, but it's just people keep asking in terms of time. Is it soon?
We will try to make it sooner.
Can I ask about skills? How you guys are feeling about the balance of skills? That's something that's been coming up a lot in the talks. Like strength being super OP right now. endurance being super OP. How do you feel about the skills being OP once they hit max?
My personal opinion is I don't like the current state of the balancing issues related to balancing. I do really want to redesign them all, and fortunately I'll have this time later. So yeah, I like some of the skills are too overpowered. Even we nerfed them several times already. They're still overpowered, especially with the introduction of inertia and everything. And some of the nerfs will be coming in the next patches for sure. Yeah, there will be new skills pretty soon related to the armor, like light armor and heavy armor skills. And I'm kind of afraid about it because it will create another meters of the gameplay, so people will start to cheese out the skills to get the advantages. Actually, almost every feature is getting stalled with the fear of these meta players. So it's every time I design something, I'm always fearing about that this feature will be used not the way I intended, and that's why it requires more time to fulfill all of these cases, to block this unlawful deeds of meta players trying to choose out the skills, trying to find some kind of bug abusive mechanics. It actually drains some energy and time from the production of specific features. Yeah, but again, it's okay. I guess we will. Like, the good thing is, like, we could always just do something harsh, something hardcore, and just say about it, like, guys, this is a new reality.
Yeah.
We will not change anything. No matter how hard you whine on Reddit, we will not change anything at all. You need to adapt or do not play the game. And they just started to like, oh my god, I cannot like level my stress resistance, burning my ass on fire.
That's the thing. Like, I've always like I come from a point of view, like, I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody, but like, I'd much rather it be extremely punishing in terms of being able to level skills, because I think this wipe, like most people who played every day, it took me 700 raids to get to max strength, which doesn't feel like a lot when you think about a whole wipe cycle in terms of, whether it's 6 months, whether it's longer, whether it's a year. So I'd much rather it be punishing, take thousands and thousands of raids for us to level our skills, and you just leave it as it is so that you can work on future content rather than constantly trying to rebalance and get involved in, like, every day. We can discuss on Twitter and Reddit and in our streams all day whether it's balanced or not, but for you guys, I think the focus should be, in my opinion, future content rather than constantly trying to rebalance. Does this spawn enough? Does that spawn enough? Is this balanced?
It has some part of truth in it, because you must understand that from all of the player base, it's only 0.0001% of those who reached the max skill, like strength, for example. It's only like a really low amount of players that sometime, somewhere, roaming around the location with the elite level strength. And if it still bothers you, and if it's still what gets you mad, so I don't know, you should relax, because literally it's the lowest percentage possible that somebody somewhere with the full max skills and everything, I don't know, it's still in the concept of the game. He invested his time to level his strength level for the elite. Good one.
I agree.
At least
yeah,
this is some kind of uniqueness in terms of personality in the game. Some of you will have the deadly disease, as we mentioned. Some of you will have max level skills. Some of you will have, I don't know, the cat in your hideout. And some of you will complete the game, because to escape from Tarkov, it will be a really hard task. Not for everybody. Not everybody will escape from Tarkov. You must be prepared for it. When we will release all of the storyline quests and will be end game, the main idea that not everybody will escape from Tarkov. You will have a chance if you will be like hard enough and you will work hard enough to escape from Tarkov. You will escape from it, and you will receive this magnificent badge that you actually escaped from Tarkov, and Mama will be happy.
A badge and Mum will be happy. That's all that we want for an Escape from Tarkov, it sounds like, for sure. Just going back to
Let's talk
was
about
there anything
airdrops,
else, Geeks?
because you mentioned it in Twitter.
That's right.
Let's talk about airdrops. You
Yeah.
mentioned us being able to call in our own airdrops, and that got everyone all hot and bothered and sweaty. Is that happening, Nikita? Tell us that's happening.
Or at least some sort of player-driven event or action, like switching a button or a flare.
Well, some
or
people. So we were talking. Our communities had some ideas. I thought they were pretty cool ideas. There's one that they said there should be special airdrops every once in a while that had maybe green smoke instead of red smoke, and then you knew you had to use a certain key card on it or something that you can get in the world. There was another idea Ironfist had from his community talking about cases that you would have to grab that were super heavy, and you'd have to do something in the hideout to unpack these cases, and you don't know what you can get from them. All in all, I love airdrops. I think it was such a good addition to the game, and I really appreciate it. Them getting added so fast.
yeah,
I think everyone's super happy.
very, very surprised by that earlier on in 12.12. Yeah, for sure. Caught us off guard, but there's definitely some potential there. I don't know if you're thinking of. You did ask the question on Twitter, and it got people talking, and a lot of people got different ideas. I don't know what your take is on airdrops, whether you've got things planned or they're staying as they are.
Many things planned for the airdrops. This is it.
Okay.
I cannot say everything, guys.
No, for sure. We just that's cool.
Yes, we will continue, and we are continuing to develop the airdrops mechanics further. We're adding more stuff, interesting stuff, and you will see it pretty soon, actually.
Ooh, that's
They were
exciting.
pretty smooth. Like, you added those like without a hitch, aside from everyone complaining about the sound of the airplane. But I like the sound, because then if you're fighting or something, you can kind of like run. And I just thought I like how loud the sound of the airplane actually is. I think it's really good.
The idea was to have this loud sound to kind of halt the ongoing warfare, because it's too loud, and it will breaks the positioning of audio also, and it will like refresh everything, and people will decide is it worth it to run or not. Because I saw that some of you saying that it's not worth it, like the loot is too like mediocre and everything, and I'm still think that it depends actually, because it could be really good, it could be pretty meh, but still it's a good chance, especially that still for this particular moment, it's still a lot of players on the state of early VoIP.
Yeah.
They're still struggling about gear, ammo, and good weapons. And the idea to have such kind of magic container with all of the good stuff, it's a good thing. Because not everybody is streamers, and they just want to play. And for those, this magic box could bring them, could get them from the EFT poverty. So it's a good thing.
Circling,
actually, it's one of my favorite features, because literally I always I'm loving to get features in game, such kind of unexpected miracles, and it's really good to see your reactions about it. And I hope in the future we will add more kind of stuff, because it's a cool thing. Actually, it's the most exciting thing in development to do something exciting and unknown and unexpected.
Speaking of loud things like the plane, I'm going a tiny bit off topic there. But a couple of guys asking about, are we going to have the ability to, for example, shut off like alarms or shoot out alarms and stuff like that? Because, you know, of course, it's very, very important that we have these dynamic events and things happening in the raid. However, there's no real counter in the sense of like, okay, now I can't hear for 60 seconds. You know, is there going to be like an ability to maybe shoot out the speakers or maybe hit the switch and turn it back off? Like, is that something that might be coming at all?
Let's imagine that we will have an ability to disable speakers, but it's over there on the base, for example. So you'll need to shoot many speakers. Because if it will be an option to just press the button and instantly shut down the alarm, it will not be the case that we wanted to implement. We want everybody that, guys, somebody is trying to escape. You all need to know that.
For sure.
It's always been a speculated thing whether you could shoot out the reserve alarms, but there's a reason why they're there. But I think just the volume of them is what people are always asking about.
Yeah,
Same for the yeah, go on, Dan.
Sorry, I was just going to say, like, interaction with the map. If we think back to like the pre-alpha footage, I remember being able to turn off like light switches and stuff like that, and being able to shut off the power. I think that was in the Streets trailer as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think these are really exciting. Yeah, I think these are really cool, really exciting like things that change. Like the idea of dynamic events, and I know we were speaking about this before, myself and the emissaries. Like things changing in the raid, like your airdrops, your extracts opening and closing, raiders spawning, bosses arriving, people arriving on the train, stuff like that. You hit the ZB13 power, and suddenly all the lights come on along the like boiler side of customs. Like all these changes that happen in the raid. For me personally, I don't mean to speak on behalf of anyone else, but like these are really, really exciting. Like these are absolutely awesome. They're like my favorite.
I really want to, Yeah, I understand. I really want to add more of such kind of things, like switches and everything, dynamic areas, and hopefully we'll add them more, especially when it comes to finalizing the locations, because the Streets of Tarkov will bring us new mechanics in terms of exits, in terms of areas, dynamic things, all the functionality that we plan to implement in Streets of Tarkov will be used on other locations too eventually, and that's why we need to complete all this stuff, and there will be the iteration that we will add these new features for all locations, and I think everything will come in place. Maybe we can do a cross interaction even. For example, some of you will be playing on the reserve location. You will hit some button and something will occur on the lighthouse and everything. or like I really like the idea, and it will definitely 100% will be in game of like entry points on the locations because like it will be not from the lobby, but you'll need to find an exit on the lighthouse or on the laboratory on the Streets of Tarkov, and it will be the only way to get into the labs. And this idea could be enriched more in terms like you will be using the train extract on the reserve and or on the lighthouse, and you will get to the reserve. It will not be an extraction. It will be like the transfer to other locations.
It would take you to another place, and then you're like, I'm now.
Yeah, like the train will arrive, and you like spawned. Not like spawned. You will be on this train, and you'll need to like, oh my god, it's a reserve, and you just wanted to get out and everything, and it could lead to more interesting results in terms of cooperation, in terms of gameplay on the locations, and of course it will bring a lot of issues too, but we want to have this kind of thing because cross interaction between location is a good one, and it could lead to really good results, really interesting, unique experience, and some of it will definitely be on the game for sure.
It's one of those features,
Absolutely.
honestly, that's hard to picture in terms of like the current game design that we're in, going map to map. Obviously, you've spoken about previously in terms of loot drop-offs and things like that to go map to map, but the actual idea that if I want to play labs, I'll have to go through streets, which means, you know, does that mean I'm going to be raiding for 2 hours straight if I want to be getting in and out and then back out, you know, through another map as well? Pretty
Something
much.
like this, yes.
Mm.
Because in this particular moment, the labs will not be enterable like right now, and this location will be on the scheme, but you'll not be able to spawn in it instantly with the help of the keycard. You need to have your keycard. You'll need to spawn on the streets of Tarkov. You'll need to spawn on the factory too. So the factory will too have an entry point. It will be much more harder, because literally everybody will know that the factory is the entry point for the labs, and everybody will spawn on a spawn kill camp. Camp out
The entry and exit point.
They will sit over there and wait for those who want to go on labs.
New D2. Gotcha. It's going to be new age D2 right there.
Yeah, and understandable that all of the bad players, like cheaters and everybody, will try to ruin this interesting experience that we all can have, and that's why we need to keep this in mind too. And you can see that the ideas they got everybody. Most of you like these ideas, but there is like technical things that can ruin your experience, and that's why it's too hard sometimes to just implement something, because it could be ruined with technical issues, with bugs, and of course with players who don't give a shit about this interesting experience. They just want to, I have 2 hours only and just want to cheese out the game, and I want to finally build the intelligence center level 2, and I don't give a shit about the interesting parts of your game. I just want to have as much loot as possible. I want to play less stressful as possible. I want to have and use only meter weapons and stuff, because I just want to grind the game, and I don't give a shit about that your ideas and everything, like you want to have cross locational interaction and stuff. They just not into it. And again, if I will say a little bit further, this is another type of player. I'm talking about not cheater, of course. Cheater, they are
just
divorced.
grinding.
I
Yeah.
hate them. And I'm talking about those who just want to grind and do everything really fast, and they just want to do it less painful as possible. Still, this is the type of players that we need to, like, they are in the game too. And if we will think about it like this is just a type of enemy, for example, and there is some tactics, you can utilize some tactics against them, the game will be easier, because you will understand that this type of players exists, and all you need to pick the suitable tactic against them, even if they will start to camp these entry points. You'll need to use like grenades, you will need to use your friends, and you'll need to use VoIP, for example, because it could be pretty interesting cooperation, because the labs will be like the sacred lands, and all of the stuff you'll be able to get from there. Most likely there will be some unique stuff only on labs, and this will be quite a journey, because we will need to infill on labs, exfil from labs on the, for example, streets, and exfil from streets. And of course this kind of approach could be utilized more, because you will not be able to exfil from streets easily. You will be exfilled to the interchange. From the interchange you will need to be exfilled on the customs. And it could be like this really long raids, really long gameplay as Left 4 Dead, for example, when you're like playing
Playing through the
with your
story.
friends and complete all the campaign. It could be different game mode, for example, and this game mode will be playable on the same servers that we play right now, and you will never know that these 4 guys are they completing the long raid or they're just like using this location as a like a loot location, and that's it.
Then back to the hideout. I think the thing with the extract, like the map transfer entry exit points, the only way to really, like, on a game design point to counter that is to have a wider entry and exit points. But I'm guessing you're wanting to focus on, when it comes to, you know, labs is specifically, you know, a certain door, a certain extract's going to send you to a certain place. It's going to be hard to randomize that, but as long as the entry point and the exit point, like we see with Path to Lighthouse on Shoreline, it's such a wide open area. It's more difficult to camp, not impossible to camp, but when you have wide entry and exit points, it does kind of counter that.
We'll think something out, because at least we can do some kind of things like the exit, like entry location, and so like exit location and entry point of the like labs will be fully randomized, as it is vice versa. So if you will try to exfil from labs, it will be randomized in different places on the streets of Tarkov, or entry points of labs. And of course we can do some kind of check that nobody near, so we will select the suitable exit point to avoid, but it will not be realistic. But again, people will camp these points for sure. 100% people will camp exits from the labs, because but again, in real life they will camp them too.
That's it.
How exactly you should behave on this? Try to exfil at night. Better idea, because nights are more dangerous and will require more experienced players. And again, it all sounds so real and interesting, actually, if everybody like will play it as intended. But still, a lot of players will try to use it in a abusive like way. And
how would that work with like raid timers then? Like, I know everything's not fleshed out 100%, you know, and you don't have to tell us exactly, but like, are raid timers going to be a thing of the past eventually?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yep.
For the free roam mode, there will be no raider times. But in our current game mode, even with the connected locations like this, there will still be raid timers for sure.
Okay.
In
They
your,
will be connected, but I don't know how.
you know, with the dev team and everything, do you have a kind of timescale in the back? Because we you know, you do work to timescales, and we don't have a set roadmap in terms of where we're going to be in terms of full release. But do you have like a date at least in your mind, or a timescale in your mind of when you'd like to be full release? Tough question, I know, but you feel free to say no.
Tough question. I can't tell anything about it. Really, it's nothing about it that I will spoil something or say something that we will not achieve. It's more like some kind of I don't know, metaphysical state. It's like I don't want to spoil it and break as the how to say it, like, you know, like some kind of magic state. If we will speak about it, it will not occur. It will not happen. And I just don't want to touch this.
Don't want to jinx yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to jinx yourself.
Forgot this word, jinx.
Jinx. Yeah. Got it. But you do. But you guys do have a roadmap in your head, and with
of course.
Of course you do. In the managers, you guys have like a date. You have yeah. Of course. Okay. Yeah.
We have all of the like timelines. We have all the plans.
Yep.
We always correct them. We have like for the at least for the half of this year, we have detailed plan of releases and everything with all this cool stuff ongoing. And every single week we have several major meetings with the elite team, with the managers team, and that's what I participate in. And like the process is like understandable, and most of them are settled in, and we know that we will do it. It's only a matter of time, and we want to do it. Of course, we want to do it great. We want to do it like playable and everything, and that's why the dates are here. We have dates, but usually every single time something happens, and the dates are starting to be shifted to different periods, further months even. So yeah, better not talk about it. And understand that people got used somehow for the release dates, but lately I think it's a general problem of all of the industry. The dates means nothing, and they just over there, and that's it. And usually it comes to delaying, and we don't like to actually delay. At least we will not tell about the exact dates, so we will not delay them and feel the additional pressure, because we have enough of this additional pressure, of the pressure overall. So it's better for us to just keep digging, keep doing stuff.
If you had dates set in with the public and whatnot, then you'd end up with a date set and would say 31st of December on such and such year, it's full release, and you could wash your hands of the game and you could walk away and never touch it again. But we kind of commend you in a way for the way you've gone about it. Although it's been a long process so far, we'd much rather a delayed patch or a delayed feature than a completely broken and unplayable game at the minute.
It doesn't mean that it will be released and we can wash our hands, because it will be a support, it will be DLCs and stuff, and like a lot of features were moved for the DLCs only. So the EFT will be a long runner. Like it will be a long runner, because literally, I don't know. We don't have another game like EFT.
No.
And all we can do right now is continue working on and make the EFT better and better, because like I don't know, it's what we achieved, and this is this niche that we got into, and we should be here as long as possible.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think I speak for a lot of people. Like honestly, Tarkov ruined every other game in existence for me. I can't enjoy other games anymore. I boot up another game and I could be looting toolboxes right now. Like, what am I doing? I'm wasting time. I could be doing my daily quests, or there's so I feel like there's so much time wasted when I'm not playing Tarkov. So thank you for that. In a way,
thinking about your PMC, like I wonder if my PMC is okay in his hideout. Yeah, it's crazy.
Honestly, we've again appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule. We know how busy you are. We've covered all bases in terms of what we had planned here. We were kind of picking and choosing some questions out of chat there. Most of the stuff we've covered in previous conversations. A lot of people asking about DLSS. I know it's planned. We have no. I don't know if you have an update in terms of dates for that, but we know it's planned, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody has any other, well, we've got a few more minutes here before we do wrap up, and we'll leave Nikita to it. Again, appreciate you taking the time. I know you've got a chilled weekend planned, right? A lot of people asking about the auction house. Actually, we haven't really heard much about how it's going to work. I don't know if you have any info.
Like auction house, maybe it will not be in the game at all, because auction house was like just a point of like, oh, it will be cool to have an auction house, and right now it's too like the game has some kind of rapid how to say it, like rapid item revolving or something. Like we have too many operations on the market. The weapons like going, you bought weapon, you lose weapon, you bought weapon, you lost it again, and it's just like we don't have enough level of uniqueness to sell these unique items on the auction house, because the main idea was to have some kind of really unique items to sell them on the auction house. But maybe someday we will do something like this, because we still have a lot of new items to come in the game, and maybe we'll implement it somehow. But right now it will not be in the game for this moment.
So you brought up quickly on Twitter, you threw up the AK modding system is changing. Is it going to be more in line with M4s? Like you're going to be able to mod a lot more now? Is that what you guys are looking to do? Yeah. Yeah,
like we decided to say it. To have more parts in the build. Yeah. AK systems, AR systems, and we'll slowly, I think, change the current models, current weapons for this thing. Maybe it will be some kind of unique skill, advanced weapon modding that will allow you to use and mod this like inner parts of the mechanism. Because I like the gun modding.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's always a good thing for me to add more stuff in terms of weapon parts and everything. Yeah. But it will require a lot of work, actually, a lot of new
Any
items,
questions in chat?
It will require to
Let me know.
remodel some of the old weapons, because
highlight messages.
they were not intended to have such level of detailization. Like
some stuff's been covered already, though.
Kind of thing.
We didn't model all of the stuff.
They can't hear me right
so
now.
We need to model them once more again. But with the new AK, it was actually a new AK. It was a Rifle Dynamics AK, and we decided with this specific AK we will make the platform that you'll be able to change it more like the military issued AK, Russian AK. Like we will see.
Let's see. Any other questions?
I saw questions about DLSS and everything. DLSS is ready, actually, and it will be in the game pretty soon. And you must understand that DLSS is not a magic thing. It will give you the FPS boost on 2K and 4K resolution for sure. For sure, it's 100%. And if you have the cards that meets the requirements. Also, we have a FSR technology, AMD technology, the same thing, but AMD
equivalent.
It also will be in the game pretty soon. We kind of finalizing it. We will try to release it as soon as possible. All of these two technologies. First will be DLSS, the second will be FSR.
Cool. Yeah, that question has been coming up a lot in chat.
Arena hasn't been chatted about. People are asking how is Arena doing. Hasn't been chatted about lately.
It's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not soon, but we are making it for sure. I hope. I remember that I kind of promised that we will give you some information before the New Year's, but unfortunately, I decided not to say anything about it, because I didn't want to spoil again things about the Arena, because Arena is also pretty crucial development part of the game itself, because we will implement new types of server infrastructure for it. We will do the lobby system for it, like new lobby system for the matchmaking and everything, and we will use it in the EFT game, in the main game. So yeah.
Can you see so with Arena, can you see people coming and playing EFT for Arena that have never played EFT, and they're going to be like, are you hoping that this is going to be something that drives people to play the game
yes,
that don't generally play EFT? Yes,
because you will have an ability to just buy the Arena and play just an Arena without the main game. And if you want to utilize more customizable and custom features in the Arena, you'll need to buy the the EFT, and you'll have an ability to use your character in Arena. in specific game modes. So yeah.
So arena's going to be put.
Like the arena,
Yeah.
the arena will definitely bring more players into the EFT universe, because it will be much easier to actually to have fun in EFT, because it will not require for you to like level up your character and lose your like resources and everything. But again, if you want to have like more experience and more I don't know, like it will be more interesting for you to play on arena with your main character.
It's going to be sold as a separate game. Does it mean that current owners of EFT will have to rebuy it as well, or if you own EFT, it's going to be included?
EOD owners will have it for free.
Okay.
And everybody other will have to buy it. It
Okay.
will be actually, it will not be expensive. Actually, it will be like DLC.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Oh, looks like we
Yep.
Yeah. We'll
Thank you.
we'll
Thank
leave.
you.
covered everything.
Yeah,
I
we've
can't
covered all
believe we
bases.
covered everything.
Again, thank you for your time, then, Nikita. It really does mean a lot to take the time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this. And
So actually, I wanted to say the most things that I said on the developers podcast that we wanted to have. I don't know, maybe next week, but unfortunately, due to COVID situation, we must move it further. Maybe in 2 weeks we will have the dev podcast, and maybe we will have something to show you. But I don't know, because I don't really want to show you anything new, because it's better to have
so
it
we love
prepared.
surprises, honestly. All we
Yeah.
on Tarkov TV on your devcast, all we want to see is the Merca dying to Scavs. That's all we want to see, honestly. We can watch that all day long.
Yeah, and just drinking. of course.
Juice time and
Some
dying
more
to
juice.
Scavs. That's all we need.
Mm.
All right, then, perfect. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you again, Nikita, for your time. Appreciate you all. Just again, please, casters in chat to click the links of all of the casters who joined me today. Thank you again, Sigma, Geeks, Dan, for joining me today. Appreciate you as well, taking the time out of your schedules. If you want to just quickly, Dan, where can the people find you? Schedules, what you got planned?
All right, Tuesday to Saturday, 5 days a week, Tarkov, 8 hours a day. We're locked in, twitch.tv/DanExert, of course. BSG Emissary as well. So if you've got any information that you want to pass on to Nikita, the developers, etc., please feel free to use myself and, of course, everybody here as well, guys. Make sure you use your emissaries, because that's what we're here for. All right, and yeah, thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Point well said, Geeks. Where can the people find you?
Sunday to Thursday.
Perfect.
Tarkov. Yeah, easy and simple.
Excellent. And Sigma, what's going on with Evasion as well? Any updates, news?
You know that my schedule is so messed up. It's all about Evasion. Yeah, we should have actually a really big announcement, a few of them coming out over the next 3 to 4 weeks. And season 6, we just actually scrapped a huge idea and made it even better. So that should be out, I would say, in the next week or two. And we're really looking forward to season 6. We got a lot of big things happening. So Evasion_GG, and then my channel is Sigma. So there you go.
Excellent. I'll get everybody to keep posted on socials. And again, Nick Jeanburn on all the socials to follow Nikita. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you again. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye bye.